Hello everyone and welcome to this week's video. This week I'm going to show you behind the scenes in the Kickstarter rewards, because all my other videos up until now have been a bit talky when I really want to be a bit showy. So you probably already know if you're watching my channel, but if you don't, welcome. I'm running a Kickstarter because I've written my first children's book. It's all about my own cat's journey through the cat shelter. It's called Our Dave. This is just a kind of first dummy book. It's going to look a bit different to this. So I'm funding the printing of the final book through Kickstarter because I don't have that money to invest in massive quantities up front. So you'll be helping me make the dream come true. The Kickstarter's doing well so far. I mean, I don't want to tempt fate, but it is yeah, it's doing all right. People have love for the book. So every reward has a colouring in download, a signed copy of the book, and a set of bookmarks. But what I'm doing on some of the tiers, some of the reward tiers, I'm offering a physical colouring book as well. So that's what I'm working on here. The images from the physical colouring book will also be featured in the PDF download, but the download will also have maybe like a couple of more things because I've made some posters you can put in your window, you know, little things like that. So what I've done with the colouring book, I don't know if you can see here, I've got some images from the book, I've went over them, and now to make them all kind of consistent, I'm going to go over them again in the same thickness pen. So this is the thickness pen that I'm going to be using on the pages. It's just a little bit more vibrant, and this is the kind of size pen that I did my initial sketches on. So if you can compare them, it's just a bit thicker, a bit more colouring book. So I'm going to go over these today. I've only got a few more of these to do, so come on, zoom out, there we go. So I've only got a couple of these to do. This one's quite complex because I've added some photo frames in the background which aren't in the book, but I thought it was a nice little touch. Yeah, so I'm going to get on with that today. After about an hour I'm going to take a break, and then I'm going to work on the bookmarks. So the bookmarks are pretty much finished actually, but I just need to order them. I might go over them just to make sure everything's exactly right, make sure the ISBN's right and everything. But that's basically what the bookmarks are going to look like. So there's going to be 4 designs, and that's going to be in the back of each one of them. I'm going to over order these because these will be really good like mini business cards. So when I do book events, people can take a bookmark maybe instead of a business card. That's kind of what I'm thinking about. So it's got all my details on there too. So I'll go over these, have another little look at them. Yeah, and then after that, let's just see where the day takes us. Hey everyone, so it's now Monday. I took the weekend off. I did finish the colouring book, which is good. I've still got a few additional pages that I want to add for the PDF download, but it's mainly going to be the same pages with a couple of extra kind of exclusive bits that people aren't going to be able to get once the Kickstarter's finished. Another one of the rewards that I've got is, so I'm just looking at my reward chart over there that I made for the live. So I've got a reward called 9 Lives, and then I've got 9 Lives Double Trouble. So 9 Lives is £45 and you get everything. So you get a signed book, personal dedication, the colouring book, the PDF download, the set of bookmarks, but you also get a signed original watercolour featuring an image from the book. There are only 9 of that reward available, and then for 9 Lives Double Trouble you double everything that's in the 9 Lives. So you get 2 original watercolours that are signed, you get 2 personal dedications, 2 signed books, 2 physical colouring books, obviously the download which you can download as many times as you want, 2 sets of bookmarks, and what else? The PDF. Oh no, I've said that. I'm a bit confused. But basically it's double the 9 Lives. So what I want to do today is to start making the original art. What I was going to do, I was going to give the originals for that I made for the book, but let me show you what they look like. Yes, so I was going to use the originals that I made and scanned in, but because I made them, let me find 2 bits. Because I made them for, how do I say it? I made them not from one image. When I redid my final watercolour pieces, I did each side of the book on a separate piece of paper. So rather than it being a complete book, a complete image, don't know what I'm saying, I split the image up and did the right hand side of the image and the left hand side of the image on separate pieces of paper. So not all of the images are, they don't all make sense. So that one, for instance, is just a piece of a rug and a mouse and some socks. So they won't all make sense, they won't be able to frame them really, and I don't think I'd be overly pleased if I got a picture of a pair of socks, when really what you want is a picture of a cat. So I'm going to choose some really nice images from the book and I'm going to make them bespoke. I'm going to make them just especially for this reward. So like I say, there's only 9 of the 9 Lives and there's 9 of the Double Troubles, but because the Double Troubles are double, it's going to be 18 of those, so I need to do 27 altogether. These, like I say, they're limited rewards. Some of them have nearly gone, so that a lot of people have quite liked the 9 Lives reward. Not as many people went for the Double Trouble, because the Double Trouble is £85 and the 9 Lives is £45, but I'm going to do them all, so all 27, and if, this is my idea at the moment, if they don't all go on rewards, I might do like a mini auction at the end and raise some money for the Sheffield Cat Shelter. That's my idea at the moment, but currently as it stands there are a few available on those rewards, so if you want them, go and have a look. The links are all down below. But I'm going to have some lunch, then I'm going to get started on those pieces of lovely original art. Sorry, my brain hasn't caught up today at all. Right, yeah, lunch. have seen me doing, I have traced an image. So this is my, those who've followed the journey before will know that I finished all of the images. These are my first ones that I did. And then I realised that I'd done them the wrong size and wrong dimensions. So I had to do them again. So this is the first kind of version of the page as it was going to be. And I was going to chop it in half and scan it. But it was a bit too big, there wasn't enough space for the words. So I did it all again and it ended up working out quite good. But what I've done, I've used these, got some tracing paper and set up an image, an A4 image, that contains this image. I'm not really explaining myself well. So I've traced this image and I've used the double page spread ones, which were my first versions, because they're a little bit bigger and they'll fill the A4 page a bit better. Some of you might be going, oh, she's tracing. This is my own work. So I have no problem with tracing these. When you're doing art as a business, you often do need to trace your own work, especially if you're doing a big project and you need it to look consistent. It's very much similar to when you're working digitally and you've got an image that you use as a layer and then you draw on top of it and then get rid of the underneath layer. It's a non-digital version of that. So what I've done here, I've traced this image. I could have drawn it by hand, but it would have taken longer. And the people who have pledged for this reward, they want it to look like it does in the book. So I'm not going to go freestyle and do something completely different, which even if I'm copying that freehand, it will look slightly different. I want to be true to the book. So I've traced it, I've went over it in pen, and what I'm going to do now, well, after I have my coffee, I'm going to make sure I get some paper to put underneath, because what I'm going to do next is going to transfer the original pencil. I'm going to flip this upside down, draw on the reverse side with a soft leaded pencil, and I'm going to trace it on there, and then from there I can go over in pen and start painting. So that's it. It's quite a labour intensive process. So there's the traced image and there's my finished one. I'm going to do that with a few different pictures and fill up some of those blank pieces of paper, and then I think I'm going to choose another day to paint them because it's getting quite late. Like I say, it's quite labour intensive, so It's taken quite a while, even though I've sped through all of that image for you. I like this image because it's all one colour. I really, really like it. It's one of my favourite pictures from the whole book. So I'm going to have fun painting that one. But I'm going to wait until I'm not so exhausted. Not exhausted, I mean I'm just tired, man. So I'm going to put that to one side. I'm going to create a little pile of pictures and then paint those up. But like I say, there are still some available on that tier, and there are obviously still some available on the other tiers as well. So go and have a look at my Kickstarter and be part of the Our Dave book, which you should be able to see on the shelf. Yes, still on the shelf. The real life Dave is outside still, unless I've just heard his cat flap. He might be coming in for dinner. So I'm going to leave that here for today, and I'm going to go and, well, I'm going to tidy my desk ready for tomorrow, and then I'm going to go and chill out, maybe with a beer, and have some dinner. Right, so ciao for now. So it's Tuesday now, and it is massively sunny outside, really nice. I realised last night when I was laying in bed, I should have really left a border around this, because I need to tape it down, because with this picture especially, it needs a wash over it because it's all blue. I don't just paint individual bits, so I need to put a wash on it, and when you put a wash on paper, it buckles. I mean, this paper's quite good, it does deal with a lot of water. I might just try and tape the corners down. I don't really want to waste the paper if I can help it. I might try and tape the corners down and try and not use as much water. Yeah, that's going to be my plan for now. But we'll see, I might just have to start all over again, which would be a shame because it took me so long. I got my water ready, I've got my subject to paint. I need to just close these curtains so I can actually see my desk because it's a bit bright. And then I'm going to get going. I'm going to try and put the first layer on first. When I'm with this one especially, but when you're working with watercolours, it's really important to let the layers dry in between. So first I'm going to do a really light blue wash over the top, and then it's a series of layers of blue, this one, because it's meant to be nighttime, so it's all desaturated. Yeah, so it's really important to let the layers dry in between, so it takes a long time, but it looks brilliant in the end. So it's worth the wait, and it is a reward. So yes, let's get going. So there we are. It is still a little bit damp, so I'm not going to handle it too much, but I'm really pleased with how that turned out. And even though I thought I probably should have left a border in hindsight so I could have taped it down to stop the paper buckling, it hasn't actually done too badly. And sometimes what can happen if you tape the paper down is it rips the paper when you've taken it off, which can be really annoying when you spent so much time making a picture. So I don't know whether, I'm still undecided about whether I'm going to leave a border on the others, because it's actually worked out okay. And this is probably the picture out of the book which is going to use the most water, because it's just lots of layers of different, lots of washes of the same colour. So I'll have a think on that tonight. What I'm going to do, I'm not going to do any more paintings today, but what I'm going to do, I think, is I'm going to do 2 or 3 at a time, because then I can be working on one painting while the other painting's drying. Because like I said before, you need to leave the layers time to dry before you reapply water, otherwise it all bleeds everywhere. Not water, paint, otherwise it bleeds everywhere. So that's my plan of attack for the next couple of pictures, because if all of those rewards go, and there's still plenty of time for them too, I'll have 27 of these pictures to do, which, I mean, it's long enough to do them, definitely, but if I sit back and let time slip through my fingers, it won't be. So I'm going to do that. I'll work on that tomorrow, but at the moment there is a cup of tea with my name on it, so I'm going to go and have that, and I'm going to leave you there. So until next week, have a lovely week, and I will see you again. Bye.